She understands herself. And she's comfortable and centered and safe within herself.
That's Sharon Stone talking about Sydney Sweeney on the red carpet for Variety's Power of Women event. You're probably wondering what's the connection between those two. Well, Sharon joined the cast of Euphoria for season 3, which will air in the spring. Now, Sharon introduced Sydney at the event.
I still can't believe it. I keep thinking, is this real? Is this happening? She is such a badass. We just would sit on set and she would tell me stories, and she was so inspiring and motivational. Like, she's honestly the best.
I don't think the honorees get an actual award. It's just an acknowledgement that Sydney's one of the cover stars of Variety's annual Power of Women issue. I'm not sure why Sydney's being recognized this year, other than the industry still trying to make her happen post Anyone But You, and it's clearly not happening. In the past year, Sydney did co-star with Julianne Moore in the Apple TV movie Echo Valley, and I would think being in Julianne's vicinity is an accomplishment for any actor. Sydney starred in Americana, which came out in August, and that was a huge bomb at the box office. Sydney followed that up the following weekend with Eden, also bombed at the box office. So it's not her box office power that Sydney's being honored for. The only widely seen piece of work that Sydney's done this year is her American Eagle campaign.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
I had a really interesting talk with her one day at work. I was saying, talking to her about the reaction that happened to her gene campaign.
So the reaction that made headlines at Fox News was apparently there were some Twitter users who thought the campaign was racist and evoked Nazism because Sydney's good genes gave her white skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes.
And I was saying, because I'm co-godparents with Jane Goodall. And I said, when Jane was on the cover of Life magazine.
It actually was the cover of National Geographic in 1965.
She was in her safari shorts and shirt, sitting with one of the animals that she was working with. And other scientists said, well, she only got the cover of Life magazine because she had good legs. And Jane said...
Well, I can show you what Jane said on the Call Me Daddy podcast in May.
Back then, all I wanted was to get back to the chimps. So if my legs were getting me the money, thank you, legs. And if you look at those covers, they were jolly nice legs.
And Sydney said, yeah, and I'm sure I made $1 billion for the Gene Company, and I'm good with that because, you know what, I'll get another job.
Okay, I'm trying to connect the dots here on this one. Here we go again. Okay, I'm just going to leave the ill-conceived, completely inappropriate comparison to Jane Goodall. That's just a whole other unnecessary sidebar fact check I would have to do, so we're just going to leave that alone. But I'm gathering that Sharon is misinformed in thinking that the backlash towards Sydney's campaign was that, since the ad was saying Sydney Sweeney has good genes, it was Sydney, flaunting that she's good looking.
It's okay to use what Mama gave you.
Absolutely.
It's really fine. It's hard to be hot. And I think we all know that.
No, Sharon, Sydney's level of hotness, or whatever you want to call it, was not the reason for the backlash against the campaign. But yeah, let's just skip to what Sharon says that Sydney said, because really, I don't want to group Sydney in with that comparison to Jane Goodall, because I'm not sure she was really part of that comparison that Sharon kind of came up with there. But yeah, she just say...
And I'm sure I made $1 billion for the Gene Company.
So first off, no, Sydney did not cause American Eagle sales to go up by $1 billion, no. There were people that were, in August, there were people saying, I'm going to boycott American Eagle. And some people were saying, I'm going to buy all of American Eagle's product to show my support. There's a lot of noise, a lot of unexpected noise. But yeah, in terms of what that translated into for American Eagle sales, no effect whatsoever. There's no spike. There's no plunge. Their sales pretty much remained static from quarter 2 to quarter 3. So no, not $1 billion, Sydney.
And I'm good with that because, you know what? I'll get another job.
It's great that Sydney wasn't feeling downbeat about the situation by saying, I'll get another job. And of course, yeah, she'll get another job. I would be worried that, if I was Sydney, I'd be worried that, other companies are going to be worried that the stench of that, that controversy, even though it was nothing, it was a stupid controversy, that stench of that controversy, if you hire her, that controversy that could kind of bleed over to you and you kind of feel the wrath of that, that's a risk I'm not sure companies want to take. Now, I don't believe Sydney has been hired by any companies since, August. And And yeah, like, I mean, she's been back shooting Euphoria this fall, so she hasn't necessarily had the time to take on spokesperson roles. So yeah, it could be she's turned down offers, or it could be that no company's been offering.
And it's really okay to use every bit of hotness you have right here, right now, and go for whatever that is.
But yeah, the story's getting out of control. That now Sharon Stone thinks just because Sydney was hot that people were mad. Okay. I don't know anymore, people. What are your thoughts?